ear to the ground, waiting to hear. Odell Beckham Jr.'s choice. He made it through waivers. That's no surprise, as it was a lot more money for somebody to get him through waivers than it was to wait for him right now. And so he's there, sitting right there for anyone to have if he wants to be had. And according to our friend Diana Rossini this morning, right, from the Worldwide Leader in Sports,
that's right.
Her report is that he's circling 3 teams: Packers, Saints, Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs.
Interesting.
Now
that makes sense to me.
Well, I mean,
Doesn't make sense to me either, but
well. Here's
You said it doesn't make sense, Chris?
let's
does not, no.
let's give some pluses and minuses here. Okay,
it makes sense to you?
for all 3 teams.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, because I forget who said this earlier this week, I think, or last. Everything just, I can't even tell what time it is right now. But the Chiefs don't have a second wide receiver. Their second pass catcher is their tight end. But if you want to have outside the numbers issues for anybody right there to defend against you, you got Tyreek over here, and then, with all due respect to the Hardman, Robinson, Gordon
Pringle.
Yeah. Pringle. It's the one that my kids like the most.
Law firm.
Once you pop Pringle, you just can't stop.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
They're so delicious.
I was talking about a wide receiver. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry.
So that's the fascinating aspect of this. And then if Mahomes, runs around and creates time and creates space, who's Tyreek's on one side with one hand up, and Odell's on the other side with the other hand up.
Killer Trav's in the middle of the field.
And for Odell, I mean, you want to go to a spot that's going to start winning football games like right now, and you want to go to a spot that can win you a championship right now. You want to play in the playoffs. You haven't played in the playoffs since he was a Giant. And he's already been through another team, and that was in Green Bay, which has a lot of pluses there, man. And the pluses are obvious, And Devontae Adams is there, and with all due respect to the law firm of Cobb, Lazard, Valdez, Scantling, and St. Brown, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a bad one. Devontae Adams is on outside the numbers going this, and then there's Odell going that. Hey, Aaron, I'm going deep here because you're running around and maybe not taking the check down.
I'm open.
Then there's the New Orleans Saints, where obviously that's home.
Yeah, hometown, but
right?
You want to go play for a backup?
That's the issue. But you want to play for Sean Payton?
See.
Maybe, but...
But if you just had an issue with Baker Mayfield, first overall drafted quarterback, and getting on the same page as him or whatever the hell happened there.
But the idea is to go play with better quarterbacks. Like, you don't want to go from Eli to Baker to Simeon. You want to go Eli, Baker, Aaron, Patrick.
Yeah.
Mac Jones.
I said it made sense.
Well, that's why we're gonna have Tom Carr on. No. And New England not on the list. Does that mean New England's not interested in him, or
Maybe
or
it
what?
sounded like tires were kicked, at least internally, from what Tom said this morning.
Tom Curran is what you're saying.
Yeah, we'll see what the latest is there.
He's joining us in the middle of the show. So there's that.
And that's why I said it made sense, because New Orleans would be going home. Like, you have Aaron, or you have Patrick, or you get to go back to the bayou that Mike Thompson's out. You'd be the number one guy there for a backup.
I know you are. I know. And then I would just be genuinely nervous about joining a team where, Simeon might not be the guy in 2 weeks, which makes total sense, right? And then it's Taysom Hill, and now you're suddenly trying to get. I don't know. I'll just stay consistent. Green Bay would be my choice.
Oh, yeah.
Green Bay would be my absolute choice.
Over Casey?
Yeah. Absolutely. they're ready to roll, and we're assuming Rodgers comes back on Sunday. Once again, he seemed hearty and hale on McAfee's show, saying that he's no longer going to talk about it. So I'm sure the Green Bay media and outside media of the McAfee / the law firm of McAfee and Hawk, would like a crack or a follow-up question or two that maybe Pat didn't fire in Aaron Rodgers' direction, but he says he's not talking about it. And I personally do not think this is going to linger for wins and losses and locker room stuff unless he comes back. You remember Cam last year? Cam was different when he came back after having COVID.
Completely different player.
And as I told everybody, this is no joke. Mike Zimmer said today in his press conference today, a vaccinated player of the Minnesota Vikings had trouble breathing and had to go to the hospital and is still in the hospital overnight, still in the hospital right now.
Wow. And just think of the stories we've heard from Larry Fitzgerald last year, who said he lost 10 pounds. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who both had breathing issues when coming back. And all these other professional athlete stories we've heard from. Affects everybody differently. And we have yet to see how it's going to affect Aaron Rodgers.
But I don't think it would create enough of a question mark for me if I'm Odell Beckham to go there. I would choose them. I would go to Green Bay. I would go to that spot in Lambeau Field. I would go and say, Adams and Rodgers have an incredible connection. I can have that with Rodgers too. I'm sure Aaron's probably on the phone to him. And then that's a heck of a 3-pack, man.
I also just think about
Cobb and Odell and Adams and Jones and Dillon.
Yeah.
That I'd go to work with that. They're going to get better and healthier, I think, on the offensive line and defensively. They're a terrific football team. They're a terrific defensive football team.
I also just think about it from a winning perspective. Green Bay, mortal lock to make the playoffs. Whereas if you join the Chiefs, are you going to make the playoffs? There are 11 teams with 5 wins in the AFC.
Right.
Whereas the NFC is super top-heavy.
Yeah.
And by joining the Packers, you're one of those top-heavy teams.
Right. You're playing mid to late January football right now. You can tell
guaranteed.
that. You can tell that right here.
Guaranteed.
In November.
Home playoff game for sure. Chiefs, 50-50 to make the playoffs? Not sure.
And then how much of this is his choice and not the other team's choice?
Right.
I would go to Green Bay. I would absolutely go to Green Bay. You want to pop that up on a poll question?
Yeah,
see what our fan base has to think about that?
Where would you go?
If you're Odell Beckham Jr., I'd go to Green Bay, Wisconsin. For sure. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.